Good morning and welcome to the Killik & Co market update. This week, AstraZeneca has published the results of its phase 2 clinical trials for its coronavirus vaccine, and these showed an encouraging response in older adults. We're still waiting for the phase 3 clinical trial results for AstraZeneca, and we're hoping to have these by the end of the year, and these will show the efficacy of the vaccine. Both Pfizer and Moderna have already published the results of their phase 3 clinical trials, so they're both slightly ahead of AstraZeneca in terms of this clinical trials process. With 3 vaccines potentially on the way, there's a lot of vaccine-focused optimism in the markets right now, and equity markets are riding high because of this optimism. However, this does mean that we have seen some weakness in so-called safe haven investments. Gold is one example. Gold traditionally does well in times of market weakness, and we did see gold hitting $2,000 per ounce earlier this year. However, now the price has come down, and the yellow metal is trading at about $1,900 per ounce. Another example is the dollar. People tend to buy the dollar in times of fear or when the market is weak, even during the financial crisis, which was arguably caused by the US. Let's take a look at the dollar versus sterling over the last year. Now, clearly this exchange rate is impacted by lots of things, including Brexit negotiations. But on this chart, you can clearly see a big spike in the dollar in March when lockdown started. And you can also see that the dollar has started to weaken over the last couple of weeks as these positive vaccine-based announcements have been published. We had some interesting results from Royal Mail this week. For years, the company has been battling with the declining level of letters being sent, while trying to increase the revenue that it makes from parcels. This year, for the first time, Royal Mail has reported higher revenue for parcels than it has for letters. Have a look at the chart here, which shows the total revenue for each type of delivery, and you can see letters in the pink and parcels in the green. And as you can see, for the fiscal year just gone, Royal Mail has reported higher revenue for parcels than it has for letters. Clearly, the company has been a beneficiary of lockdown, with more people forced to shop online, which has led to higher parcel deliveries. However, the company did report higher costs. Part of this is due to changing how it operates to account for more parcels, but also it has had to deal with more safety procedures as a result of the coronavirus. Looking forward, it's likely that parcel deliveries will remain high as we move into the all-important Christmas shopping season. With the lockdown continuing into December, it's likely that more and more people will be forced to carry out their Christmas shopping online. And finally, Apple has agreed to pay $113 million to 33 US states to settle the so-called Batterygate scandal that happened in 2016 and 2017. Apple was found to have released an update which slowed down older iPhone models, which forced many users to upgrade their phones. While $113 million may sound like a large amount of money, in the context of Apple's overall profits, it's a very small amount indeed. Let's take a look at the numbers on this chart here. So for the fiscal year just ended, Apple's net income or profit was $57.4 billion. That's in the green on the chart here. And we compare that to the $113 million settlement. That's in pink on the chart, and this chart is to scale. And the $113 million settlement is so small that you can barely even see it. And this is why it's becoming so difficult to regulate these big tech stocks. They're making so much money at the moment that any meaningful fine or settlement would have to number in the billions of dollars. Moving on to have a look at next week, it's fairly quiet on the corporate calendar, and we're not expecting results out from any companies on the Killik & Co covered list. However, there are results due out from UK water companies Severn Trent and United Utilities. That's it from us. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next week.